Welcome back to Foundry. My name is Nilaus, and this is a continuation of our Let's Play and somewhat of a tutorial series for Foundry Early Access. And oh man, I wish there was a way that we could see the base much better than this. Missing fuel for jetpack. Oh yes, that is going to be what we are going to do today. We are going to be flying by the end of this episode, and we're going to be making some awesome oil builds. So let's just recap where we were last time. We built this concrete glass build over here. We got all the green signs going. I've also just put down some greenhouses. They're green and they're houses, so they must be greenhouses. What they're doing is they are just simply... I wish I had the... Oh, it's up here, I can see. Right, so what they're doing is they're basically taking one biomass plus some mineral plus some water and then turning into two biomass. So it's just basically a way for me to make biomass, and by this little amount of biomass that I'm making, I'll be able to automate the explosives. You know, you can't live without explosives. So what are we going to do? We are going to be scanning, and we're going to be finding the nearest oilium or olumite or whatever it is. It's oil, all right? It's oil. Here it is. It is right there. So of course, I have in preparation, I have built a line out there, and I'm also going to be taking... This is going to be a return belt for one of the products that we're going to make from oil. Oil is, at first it's a little complicated, but when you then get started on it, you go like, oh, it's actually quite simple. So I think that's fine. So we'll start by going out here, and I have dragged the power poles because I need to get in a high power pole. So this olomite is, well, I guess it's not oil because it's not a liquid, so it's whatever. It's fine. And what we're going to do is we are going to put a pump jack. Pump jack. There. And how many do we want? Well, 1, 2, and 3 fits fine for now. They are producing pretty quickly. And I want to sort of put it into a box. I'm not sure this is a good idea though, but I'm going to do it anyway. There. And right align it like so. And then we can get the pipes in here. Cool. So that's done. And then the only thing missing is the power lines. Then it will be over here. Power lines. And then from here. Oops. That was totally not what I wanted. I have to click and then click in here and click in here and then click into that one. And from here to here and from... No, didn't want to do that. It's not because it's important, but it's because, yeah, cool. So we now have oilium coming in here. Yay, it's filling up crude olomite. Perfect. Right, let's talk a little bit about how oilite nominite. Yes, there we go. Said it perfectly. What that works. Basically, what we want to do is we want to research jetpack. Easy to research it, but we need to make jetpack fuel. So jetpack fuel comes from liquid fuel. Liquid fuel comes from low density olomite, and low density olomite comes from crude oil. However, this is made in a chemical processor, and this is made in a fluid assembler. And if we see the chemical processor and fluid assembler, they require circuit boards. So we need to make circuit boards first, and the first thing we want to do is then, of course, make circuit boards. That means we need polymer boards, and that's polymer boards comes from the basic olomite process. So basically there are 3 different processes, at least at this tech level. There is the crude oil to liquid polymers. There is the crude oil to low density olomite. And then there's a third one that is crude oil to olomite gas. Those 3 ones, and then they have some waste gas, and we need to deal with the waste gas. So that is where we're going to be going. The first thing I want to do is I want to make the... Where do we have it? We have a refinery, that distillation column. That's what it's called. And these are also always a little bit tricky. So let me see where I want to place it. Let's just smash it down here and set the recipe up for the first one. So the first is going to be the liquid polymers. So that is directly. So this takes 1500 per minute, and it gives out 1100. Okay, I am already regretting this. Let's make it here instead, because I'm gonna need somewhere to flare it. Because if I look at it, then this output is going to be the waste gas. So I need to make sure that the waste gas is also dealt with, and that's going to be happening in a flare stack. So I want to build the flare stack here. Yeah, not really. It's a little bit about the spacing here, so I'll do that here and take you out and then build that column. No, that's the flare stack. It is the distillation column here. And I think I want to turn this towards me. Yes. All right. Then liquid polymers. That is the waste gas, and this is the final product, the real gas. So that's going to be where we get out. And then we need to figure out, it's a casting machine we need. And let's see, where do we have the casting machines? They are here. The casting machines are the ones that actually built this. So I will be smashing one that down here. Let's have a look at the recipe. And first you have to set up the recipe, otherwise it doesn't tell us what it gets. And this is the inbound. Perfect. So let's see. This is 1500 consumption, and this one is outputting 1125. So I need 7.5 of these spills to consume all of it. And I want to consume all of it. That is 4, 5, 6, 7.5. There we go. Then I'm going to get some pipes inbound. There. Pipe flow seems to not really be an issue, but I'm not 100% sure. And I don't think that there's a pressure loss, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a little weird. So then we have here, this will just be the output, like that. And let's see, the output is just simply polymers. So if I have 7.5 times 30 per minute, then that is 225 polymer boards per minute that we're outputting from this. Okay, I guess that's something. I don't know if that's enough or not enough, but it is what we have right now, and we can then scale it up later on. Then we'll put it into a box, because of course, and get you inbound and get you outbound and go back. All right, let's see if we can make it work. What is the hold up for not working? Well, that's we don't have oil inbound, and we don't have this. There, now we have hooked it all up. Let's see, is it working? Yes, there is a progress. This should be coming in easily, and each of these are producing at, we don't really know, but I think they're producing at 400, I don't remember. 1500? Oh, right here it says, maybe. Nope. I think it's 1500. I can't remember where I saw it. But we are getting all of the liquid inbound, and we are getting some liquid polymers outbound. Great. So we can now take this all the way back to the bus and add another thing on the bus. I'm not going to add the polymers on the bus, but I am going to make the actual electronics on the bus, because that is definitely something that's going to be used. And here I'll get electronics. That's definitely something. How fast? It's only 12. Okay, so that's not really consuming all of it. There, and do I want to take 5 of this? Yes, let's take 5. And then I'm going to get an input. That is the electronics, and that comes from here. Downslope. Okay, so that's now coming in, and you're going to be taken out. Maybe this will also go on the bus, but I don't know. One of the things that I haven't figured out, that I need to figure out a lot, is how do we make a proper hub for everything? Because there are just so many things that need different ingredients, and I just don't really have an easy way to make additional, like make a hub with it can make everything. Oh, that's actually a problem. It's not a real problem, it's just a little bit inconsistent with regards to how we do this, because we usually don't take these, but they work just fine. Good. And I'm going to take you. That's an output, an output, an output, an output, and an output. Because we're starting to have quite a lot of machines here, if we look at all these machines. And if I want to have all of them automated, then I'm just going to have really awful automation locations built for everything. And that goes out here, and then up and there. So we now have electronics on the bus. Great. that is also something that we'll obviously be picking up, some electronics, and then we can go on with the next part. And now onwards to the next oil thing. I'm gonna make it not this close so that they collapse, not this close so that they're really close, but this location. And now the next part is a little more complicated. That is the low density olomite. And it also has a waste gas. So let's first hook up the waste gas, because that should be consistent with how the other one is done. That one. And a vent down there. Definitely. Why do I not have a gas there? And no, I'm just gonna be consistent and only take these there. I take you, and then I take these. All right, so fuel gas is, or the waste gas is now dealt with, and I'm pretty sure this flame stack can actually handle it. There's no such thing as pollution in this game, so that's fine. I get 1500 out if I get 1500 in, so that's good. We're not going to hook it up just yet. I do need to remember that it's actually this one that has to go in. There. That one, and this, and then not connected yet. Don't want to connect it yet. So what are we getting? Now the next thing we want to do is actually in a... I've prepared these buildings. Ah, man, it's a chemical processor. There we go, that thing. That's a big thing. Let's make that... needs to be here. Is that it? Yes, now it's aligned with the other one, so I don't know why I have this space, but that's the space that I have. And I am going to say this is now taking the low density and making it into liquid fuel. So how much do we have? We have... liquid fuel is... okay, so it's 3 times as much. This is 375, so 2 of those is 750, 4 of them is 1500, and that's how much we get out of it. Then I just realized something else. Copy the recipe, and I'm going to do that. Copy. And rotate. And then I am going to be... Is that aligned? Yes. Yes, so that is actually coming out on this side. Yes, I think. Why on this side? Well, because I'm now getting fuel gas in out on the other side here. So this fuel gas is now coming out. And I'm going to have several of these because I've just realized how much is actually going through this. I'm going to need to have this on 2 pipes. Okay. So let's have a look on the recipe here. This recipe is outputting 1125. And then if I have 2 of those, then that's going to be 2,200 in a single pipe. I think that's... Damn, it's loud that in the background. That is probably as much as we can put as throughput on these pipes. Again, not really having any clue about it, but that just kind of feels reasonable. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to get some pipes out. I'm going to leave those out in this location and that location. I guess. No, actually, we might as well just leave them next to each other. Okay, just in these 2 locations, all right? And that is now going into a fluid assembler. Cool. So the fluid assembler is taking an input here. So it needs to come 1 down and then go to this location. Fluid assembler can do 2 things now. It can do jet fuel, yay, with xenoferrite plate, yes. Or it can make portable fuel, which I guess we can just use for another power plant. Or we can make energy cells. And that's not something, this is going to be next time because it leads into some other things, the energy cells. But what we're going to do is making jet fuel first, and then we're going to make the rest of it into this. And this takes, if you look at it, this is consuming 450. And if we look at this, this takes 450. And it only makes 15. So it's a large quantity. So I'm actually producing 4,500 fluid outbound from my process. So I'm going to have 10 of these. But I think I want, first, before we do anything else, I want to make a single one that just takes care of this part. I am also going to have a pipe inbound, a belt inbound. And yeah, so I'm going to have a belt inbound here. That'll be the xenoferrite. And then I'm going to have an outbound belt for the fluid gas. So let me take this one here. You are going to be portable gas. Then I'll have 10 of these. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Here. I misplaced all of them. Lovely. Oh, no, I didn't. I misplaced all of these as well. Well, I misplaced all but one. Could have just removed this one and it would been fine. Oh well. Yeah, this is the difficulty of having a 3D game. This 3D game becomes a lot better once we have the jetpack, because then we can actually see what we're doing and we can be a little bit further away when building stuff. And that's kind of the main issue here, that we're just simply too close. Alright, so what is it we want to do? First and foremost, we want to make sure that we have an inbound on here. That's an inbound. You are just going to grab that together with whatever fuel we have, and that's going to go out into a box. And then we'll do this rather silly one. That's an output, and then that's an input, and then a box. This will be our rocket fuel. And that's the most important one to hook up. So let's just hook that one up immediately. And I'm gonna need one of these. So let's see. The reason for doing this is then it's easier to take this one out. And oh no, that's the wrong one. I know I'm not using getting any signs, but I think it's we just want to get the signs we have here. So that goes down here somewhere, and this one goes down here. Then let's get a turn. Wow, I was about to say I'm getting better at this. There, good. And then I need there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that correct? Oh, I don't like this. It should have been one extra out, so it would be down the middle. That looks so much better if it's down the middle. Yeah, let's do that. So now the pipes have been placed. It looks good. And I am so tempted to just hook it up, even though I shouldn't be. Let's hook it up, because let's get the enjoyment of the stuff that we've been looking most forward to of all. And that's here, and this is then going to be the output. That is here, and I'm going to drag this inbound. This will be our xenoferrite plate. That is essential. Probably going to run out of power at some point, and that is a downslope here. Take these two out. It is so nice, this one. I love the comments that are like, oh, this is a nice bus build. I think I'm going to try that. Thank you. It's nice. It works really well. It does take a lot of space, but I mean, space in an infinitely procedurally generated world is not exactly at a premium. So what are we going to do here? We are going to be figuring out how to do this properly. It's a little bit complicated. So this is an outbound, and then it's an inbound on the other side, because I have to build it continuously. Then this is an inbound, and then this is a... Actually, I don't need to do that, do I? I can probably do in sessions, right? Because the thing is, I can't move around. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 3, and then I am somehow stuck. There. Okay, so that was that part. Then I can make these inbounds. I have to have a place to walk. And now I'm gonna make this one is gonna be an outbound. There. And then that matches over to inbound. And then out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. Cool. I think it works. Yeah? I think it works. It's very dense. And all we need to do now is go all the way back here, and then we should be seeing we get some rocket fuel immediately. Well, not immediately. There we go. Let's see if things are working. Good. We are getting oil inbound. The oilomite is inbound. Great. And it should be pushing out here on this belt. You can press V and then see how much is in the pipe. You can't see the flow rate, but you can see that there is something. It's filling up and it's making the pink things. Is it going all the way in? Yes. There's an orange progress bar. Here's no orange progress bar because less and less is coming in here. But it is matched fully. So as it stops building up buffers here, then more will slide all the way down. Let's have a look down here. Click, click, click. That is a good sound. Well, it's an annoying sound. This one is working. Yes. Now, it is not built completely at ratio. It's because the jetpack fuel needs to be built first. And I'm prioritizing the jetpack fuel over the rest of it, and I think that's a pretty good idea. But then once this one is full of jetpack fuel, then we have no problem. Are you ready? Oh, we are jetpacking. Oh, this is so nice. This is so nice. Ah, so much nicer. Let me get a little bit more jetpack fuel. It's really nice. You can also see how much fuel is remaining. There we go. So now we have 7 jetpack fuel. And we can now flow all the way back. This could be made into a new power plant. I don't know how our power is actually holding up. It's probably fine. Yeah, we're using 17 megawatt, but we could use more. We could use 55 is the old power plant up here producing, and this is producing. This can be producing 37 once the jetpack fuel is done. Now we can look at the entirety of the base. I can even go so far as to say, there we go. No UI is shown. That is glorious, isn't it? That gives us so much better overview of what we have. Like, for example, I forgot to extend my glass build. So let me explain something I started talking a little bit about earlier. So here, for example, right there, this is our build for the better belts. So the first 3 are, this one in the middle is making belts, which will then go out into splitters, and it'll go, actually I'm gonna enable the UI again so I can actually point to stuff. Show UI, there we go. That is Alt U to get that developer console up. So this here in the middle is making belts, which go out here to ramps, and it goes out here to splitters. Then the belts also go into this one, which will make better belts, and then this will make better ramps, and this will make better splitters, and then they go out. Now, I also have over here, this was a build that I did for these locations, so I have a lot of the things here, also including old builds. But this is quite convenient, so if I need some miners, if I need some assemblers, that's good. But let's say I want to make something like Assembler 2. That means I need xenoferrite plates, machinery parts, electronic components, and advanced machinery parts, all together in one place. And those 4 things, then those are not the same things I need here, because here I need xenoferrite plate, that's the same, advanced machinery parts, that's the same, but then I also need circuit boards and polymer boards. So that's 2 more things I need. So that would, the easy thing would be just to branch out and do one thing, but then I'd have to have one branch off the bus with just to make one item, and that's not really convenient. So having to branch off the bus and then figure out how to get many of the things, and also figure out like what are the things we're going to have a lot of. I'm sure something like fluid assemblers is something we're going to need a lot of. I think something like casting machines, steel beam, advanced machinery parts, electronic components, we're needing that. Incinerator, I don't know why we need that, but I haven't found a use for it yet. Distillation plants, columns, I don't think we need a lot of those, but maybe greenhouses, maybe we need a lot of those, maybe we don't, I don't know. But the idea here is that it's a little bit difficult to figure out which things we really need a lot of, and in that case start mass producing, and which ones we'll just, like for example boilers, when we need to build a new power plant, it's okay for me to just handcraft the boilers and the steam turbines and then be done with it and move on. So that's kind of the conundrum I face on which things to prioritize here. So I haven't found a solution. Maybe that's something we'll tinker with on live stream. And I'm streaming this live on Twitch 2 times a week, as long as there's an interest. And there is currently an interest for it both here on YouTube and on Twitch. So thank you very much for following this series. And thank you for your support. And if you want to play along or grab some designs from this, the save game is available to Patreon supporters. That's one of the few perks I give to Patreon supporters. And that is, well, then you have it available. So nice, organized base, and it can continue to scale up as much as we think we like. There's nothing out there. What we're going to be doing next time, and just so that you get a sense of it, is that we're going to be probably working towards the energy cells, and then these maintenance drones, and then get into some of these weird things with like massive big buildings, transport ships, construction ship port, construction warehouse. Well, these are weird things that we definitely need to figure out how to do. And that will sort of be constraining everything in the base, and there'll be sort of a new transition from being small buildings to being big buildings that sort of sell stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because it seems like there's a change coming. And now the biggest change is that we actually have we can fly. So that is amazing. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I will see you guys next episode, or maybe on live stream. Until then, take care, and as always, stay effective.